What was a loophole that you found and exploited the hell out of? Not real sure it's a loophole, but I'll still post it. I run a recycling center, and when Mountain Dew did the win a Xbox One with codes under the soda bottle caps, we got a total of 20 Xbox Ones. Every worker got one that year. Also, Casey's Pizza had a thing going that you collect 10 tabs off the large pizza box, you'd get a free pizza. We had free pizzas weekly for years till they stopped doing it. During my first year teaching, teachers were each allowed 1,500 photocopies a month. I had 150 students. That wasn't enough. One day, a coworker announced that she was leaving for a different opportunity. I asked her for her copier code. They never deleted her code. So I had 3,000 copies per month for the last 5 months of the school year. I used to abuse the McDonald's coffee stickers scheme for a couple of years. You needed to purchase 6 cups of coffee and get 7th free. You could just buy the stickers of eBay and stick them on the redemption cards. Worked out 5 pence a coffee. Then they came out with the app loudly crying. Burger King used to have an app where you'd shake your phone and it would sometimes display a free item. Guy at work write his own app that looked identical to Burger King's, but would only ever show a Whopper meal. Every lunchtime he'd go to Burger King and get a free meal. Older vending machines like the ones in my high school and car wash used to take golden dollars, count them as $1 and then spit them back out. You could buy the whole machine with $1 golden. My friends and I exploited this for 7 months senior year until they swapped all of the machines out. Back in school, I found if you stuck 2 pennies together, the vending machines would accept them as £1. I had a lot of cheap chocolate and soda. You used to be able to order dollar coins from the mint. Pay for it on your credit card. Free delivery. Get Sky Miles. Take dollar coins to bank. Deposit. Pay off bill. Repeat. One year our entire family went to the dog track for New Year's Eve. They had a really good dinner deal plus dancing with a great DJ. And of course gambling. At midnight, there was going to be a balloon drop. Each balloon had a strip of paper listing a prize in it. Most were small, like one free $2 bet, a free dessert, things like that. The grand prize was an all-expense-paid trip for 2 to Durango, Colorado to ride a scenic railroad. Earlier that evening, I was on the dance floor and happened to look up at the balloons. One odd thing stuck out to me. You could see the silhouettes of the paper strips inside the balloons. Most were small, around 2 inches long, but one right above my head was at least as long as my entire hand. I reasoned that that balloon had to have the grand prize in it, as it would take a lot of space to write out, all expenses paid trip for 2 to Durango, Colorado for a ride on a historic railroad. I made sure to mark that balloon, and right as it turned midnight, got directly underneath it and watched it like my life depended on it. I grabbed the balloon, and sure enough, I was correct. I won a $2,000 trip. But then I turned around and sold the trip on eBay and got enough money to then buy my wife's engagement ring. It worked out really well for me. From 1980s, found a skiball machine at Chuck E. Cheese that dispensed unlimited tickets, but you had to manually pull them. My pops helped and we slowly pulled out 300 tickets. I lived in an apartment in a big city. The building lot was $120 per month. Street parking was $60 for the year. But it was first come first serve street parking in designated areas. The rest of the street was metered. There were some nights I had to pay for metered parking, just so I could go to bed. One time though, I found a meter that was broken. Parked there the rest of the year. Then never renewed my parking permit and parked there for another year. Saved a bunch of money and uncountable hours of driving time. Never got a ticket. My bank thinks the vending machine at work is an ATM and refunds my ATM fee automatically. Chase Bank, if anyone wondered. I noticed I was always getting like $1.50 returned to my account here and there, and then I realized what it was. College 1985. Had to take a risk in insurance class. The professor was terrible and I had no idea what he wanted us to learn. I was a good student and normally I'd figure out in the first week what was needed to pass with a high grade. I was worried, really worried. So I looked in the book, and as I recall, in the front pages a workbook was available. This had helped me greatly in my accounting classes, so I called the publisher and ordered the book. It was page after page of multiple choice questions for each chapter with a key in back. I memorized the answer to each of those questions. And as you have likely already guessed, the professor used those questions for the exams I sailed through that class and didn't tell anyone what I'd done, so I didn't mess up the curve and make the professor suspicious. A few years ago, a vending machine company, Selecta, started a game where you would scan the barcode of your purchase. Every month had a few partnership items and get points. If you religiously scanned your 2 items every day, you'd get in 3 months enough points for the best gifts. iPads or TVs. Things like that. Except, to scan a barcode, you don't need to purchase it. You just need to have it. So if first day of the month you buy the chocolate bar, nothing is stopping you from scanning it again and again. You can even just take a picture of the barcode of the soda drink bottle next time you stop at the supermarket and actually never buy it. And you can make a printable PowerPoint of it to ease the task. And you can open accounts to family and friends and share the PPT. It lasted a bit more than a year and it was very fruitful. My GF worked at a gas station that had points cards that gave a discount. If the customer didn't have one, she'd scan hers for them to get an item discount, and we got the points for discount gas. Never paid over $1 per gallon the entire time she worked there. The campground we stayed at when I was a kid had an arcade in the lodge with an air hockey table. I figured out that if you put quarters in and pushed the plunger to start the game just until the air started, you could pull them back out and get a free game. I had that air hockey table running for hours. We had kids lined up around the table. We even did a little tournament. It was so much fun. When my family was about to leave, I told one other kid the trick. Turns out I'm a pretty good judge of character. For 3 years we met back up and ran that air hockey table until one of the campground attendants caught on. The 4th year the table was fixed and cost $1 to play. The arcade was entirely dead. The thing is, kids would always play other games while they waited for air hockey. The campground decided it was better to have a dead arcade that made nothing rather than one that made a little and had free air hockey. That was when I learned the importance of a loss leader. Create a new Amazon account by adding a period to your Gmail and get another free 6 months of Amazon Prime. Your order emails still comes to the same Gmail, as Gmail is period insensitive. Okay, so hear me out. I got $400 of premium underwear for like $20 due to a website security issue. So a few years back the company MeUndies was doing a National Underwear Day sale where new users could order any pair off the site and only had to pay $1 for shipping. The thing was, they didn't have any restrictions on verifying new users. You could type in any email address you wanted, slam in a random series of characters for a password, and it would make the account. Then you could order a pair, log out, type in more random info, and repeat the process. My apartment mailbox was literally overflowing with these purple confetti design packages. It was wonderful. Enroll in a college class. Get the student ID and email address. Then drop the class. Usually if you drop in the first week and you don't have to pay for it, then you have a valid student ID and email for all the discounts you could get. I got a lot of very cheap software back in the day. In my defense, I was in college at the time. But a few semesters after I graduated, I did this just to get a few more things I needed but couldn't afford. ETA. It seems I need to check to see if my student email still works lol. Back in early 2022 I started using Coinbase for some crypto investing. I have Rakuten set up on my browser, which gives you money back for purchases on certain sites. When I logged into Coinbase, I'd get a pop-up saying they were giving you $30 cash back. So I enabled it. This pop-up would show up every time I logged in, so I would click it thinking nothing of it, but turns out there was glitch and they gave me $30 every time I logged in. I ended up getting a check from Rakuten for $800 before they figured it out. Check cleared and everything. Back when Redbox was new, you could enter the promo code BREAKROOM and get a free rental on a new card. I passed that around like crazy.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.